The golden afternoon sun spilled across the bustling streets as I made my way through the downtown crowd, a mix of hurried office workers and leisurely shoppers mingling in the brisk air. My plan had been simple: pick up the custom anniversary card I'd ordered for Emily, my wife of 10 years, from the local crafts shop. That little detour took me past the glittering facade of an upscale watch store, one I rarely had any business with, given the hefty price tags. As I approached, a familiar silhouette caught my eye. There, through the gleaming window, was Emily, her delicate fingers tracing the contours of a sleek men's watch. Curiosity piqued, I paused. A surprise gift, perhaps? Our anniversary was around the corner, after all. The thought warmed me, and I lingered to watch her charming exchange with the sales clerk, a scene framed perfectly by the ornate window. "Can I see that one again, please?" Emily's voice was light, almost excited, a tone I hadn't heard in a while. The clerk nodded, presenting her with a watch that boasted an elegant design and an air of sophistication. My heart swelled. That had to be for me. After a few minutes, she made her purchase and left the store, her steps quick with the thrill of a secret kept. Instead of heading home, she turned towards the business district. Curiosity turned to concern. I followed, keeping a discreet distance as she entered the towering glass building that housed the company I worked for. The lobby was quiet, save for the soft hum of the air conditioning. I watched as Emily tapped her foot impatiently by the elevators, finally catching one that would take her straight to the executive floors, where my boss, Richard, had his office. Something felt off. My initial thrill gave way to a gnawing in my gut. I shook it off as jealousy. Richard was a charismatic man, wealthy and influential, and not beyond flirting. Still, why would she go to him? Deciding against confronting her there, I waited. Minutes ticked by like hours until finally, I saw her leave, her face flushed and her smile wider than when she'd entered. That smile, radiant yet secretive, sent a chill down my spine. Later that day, back at the office after Emily thought I'd left for a business trip, I decided to retrieve some files I had forgotten. My heart thudded painfully against my ribs as I neared Richard's office, the door suspiciously ajar. Peering in, the sight that greeted me was like a physical blow. There they were, Emily and Richard, far too close, laughter echoing off the walls of the spacious office. My breath caught in my throat as I stood frozen, hidden by the shadows, witnessing the betrayal unfold on Richard's expensive leather chair. "The boss has a family! What a creep!" The word slipped from my lips, a venomous whisper lost in the shock of the moment. They didn't hear me. They didn't see me. But I saw everything. As I backed away, a plan began to form, dark and dangerous. Revenge, a dish best served cold, would be my new mission. Emily and Richard would regret their deceit, and I would be the architect of their downfall. The seeds of retribution were sown, and as I walked out of the building, a cold resolve settled over me. They had made their choice, and now they would face the consequences. The game was just beginning. My footsteps echo in the empty parking garage as I clutch the steering wheel of my car, each breath a cloud in the cold night air. The weight of what I've witnessed hangs heavy, but my mind races ahead. I need allies, resources, and a plan tight enough to ensure Emily and Richard pay dearly for their deception. First, I seek out an old college friend, Alex, who now works in cybersecurity. We meet at a dimly lit dive bar, where the buzz of neon signs and the clink of glasses create a veil of privacy. "Alex," I greet, sliding into the booth. His eyes, sharp and assessing, take in my grim expression. "Hey, man. You look like hell. What's up?" His concern is genuine, a reminder of why I trust him. I lean forward, voice low. "I need your help." It's sensitive. I found Emily and my boss together. It's an affair, and it goes deep. Alex's eyebrows shoot up, then he nods, understanding the gravity. "What do you need from me?" "I need to know everything they're doing, emails, messages, anything you can dig up without tipping them off." He considers for a moment, then nods. "I can set up some discreet monitoring. Give me access to their devices, and I'll handle the rest." With Alex on board, my next step is gathering more tangible evidence. I call in a favor from another friend, Tara, a private investigator known for her discretion and effectiveness. Tara meets me the following afternoon in a quiet coffee shop, her demeanor all business. "So, you want surveillance?" she asks, sipping her espresso. "Photos, videos, anything that shows they're more than just colleagues," I confirm, feeling the sting of betrayal anew. Tara sets her cup down, her eyes sharp. "Consider it done. I'll start tonight. They won't even know I'm there." With Alex and Tara in place, my plan begins to take shape. I spend my days at work acting as if nothing is amiss, watching Richard with a cold, calculating gaze. Emily, too, remains under my watchful eye at home, though I keep my distance, my heart barricaded against her. Days blend into nights, and soon, Alex calls me with an update. We meet again at the same bar, his laptop open between us. "I've got something," he whispers, showing me a series of messages between Emily and Richard. Their words, laced with endearments and plans, fuel my anger. As I read, my phone buzzes, a message from Tara with a video attachment. It shows Emily entering a luxury hotel, Richard greeting her with a kiss so casual it speaks of long familiarity. My jaw clenches, resolve hardening. "That's enough to start with," I say, my voice steady despite the turmoil inside. "Let's tighten the net around them." Alex nods, his face grim. "What's the end game?" "They lose everything," I reply, the words I see. "Their jobs, their reputations. I want them broken." Alex doesn't question my motives. Instead, he simply nods, understanding the depth of my betrayal. "Then we'll make sure they have no ground to stand on when you're done with them." As we part ways, the plan solidifies. Revenge is within reach, and I am its harbinger. Emily and Richard have built their happiness on my ruin, but the storm I'm brewing will wash it all away. The pieces are in place, and soon, they will learn the cost of their deception. The morning air is crisp as I walk into the office, a spring in my step that hasn't been there for weeks. Today is not just another day, it's the day the pieces of my carefully crafted plan start falling into place. My heart races with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. Inside, the office buzzes with the usual activity, but I feel like I'm moving through a different world, a world where every step brings me closer to my revenge. "Hey, you seem upbeat today," remarks Sarah, a colleague from the marketing department, as we pass in the hall. I manage a smile. "Just a good morning, I guess," I reply, keeping my tone light. In my office, I shut the door and check my phone. There's a text from Tara, all set for tonight. We'll have eyes on them at the gala. Tonight's annual company gala, a lavish affair at a high-end hotel downtown, is the perfect setting for my plan. Richard and Emily are both expected to attend, and Tara will be there undercover to gather more evidence. Throughout the day, my anticipation builds. Every interaction with Richard, every fake smile, fuels my resolve. He sits in his office, unaware that his world is about to crumble. As the workday ends, I head home to prepare. I dress carefully, choosing a sharp suit that matches the gravity of what's about to unfold. At the gala, I arrive early, blending into the crowd of co-workers and industry peers. Tara texts me from across the room, a signal that she's in position. I nod subtly and take a glass of champagne from a passing waiter. The gala is in full swing when Richard and Emily arrive together, laughing and touching each other with a familiarity that stings. I watch from a distance, my facade impeccable. "Enjoying the evening?" I ask casually as I approach them, my voice devoid of the bitterness I feel. "Oh, absolutely," Emily responds, her smile faltering for a moment when she meets my gaze. Richard claps me on the shoulder, oblivious. "Glad you could make it. Wouldn't be the same without you." The irony of his words almost makes me laugh, but I keep my composure. "Wouldn't miss it for the world," I assure him, my smile tight. As they mingle, I move away, checking my phone discreetly. Another message from Tara confirms that she's captured everything on video, their intimate gestures, their too close for comfort laughter. The evening draws to a close, and I leave the gala, a plan simmering beneath the calm exterior. Back at home, I meet with Alex online, sharing the evidence Tara collected. We have enough to move forward, I tell him, a grim satisfaction settling over me. Alex nods, his face serious on the screen. I'll prepare the files for the final blow. When do you want to do this? Tomorrow, I say decisively. First thing in the morning. I want to catch them off guard. We'll be ready, Alex assures me, and we end the call. I spend a restless night, the scenes of betrayal replaying in my mind. But alongside them runs a current of cold determination. Emily and Richard's downfall is at hand, and I am the architect of their ruin. Morning comes, and I'm at the office early, the files containing all the evidence neatly compiled on my laptop. I watch the clock, each tick a step closer to the moment of truth. At 8 a.m. sharp, I send an email to the company board, attaching the evidence. The subject line reads, "Urgent, misconduct at the highest level." Minutes later, my phone rings. It's the company chairman, his voice tense. "We need to discuss your email immediately. Can you come to the boardroom?" On my way, I respond, my voice steady. As I walk to the boardroom, my heart beats a fierce rhythm. This is it, the moment of reckoning. Emily and Richard's world is about to shatter, just as mine did. But unlike me, they will not see it coming. The trap is set, and there is no escape. As I enter the boardroom, the tension is palpable. The entire board is present, their faces a mix of confusion and concern. At the head of the table sits the chairman, his eyes narrowed as he motions for me to sit. Richard and Emily are there too, looking unusually composed. Richard's gaze meets mine, searching, but I give nothing away. Emily, however, avoids my eyes altogether. "Let's get to the point," the chairman begins, his voice grave. "You've made serious accusations. We've seen the evidence you sent." "Richard, Emily, do you have anything to say?" Richard stands, his confidence unshaken. "I believe this is a misunderstanding. Yes, Emily and I are close, but..." Before he can finish, the door to the boardroom swings open. In walks Alex, flanked by Tara. My allies, bearing the final pieces of the puzzle. "Sorry for the interruption," Alex says smoothly. "But I think this will clarify everything." He connects his laptop to the projector, and the room darkens slightly as images start to flicker on the screen. There they are, undeniable, damning photos and videos of Richard and Emily's indiscretions. The board members murmur among themselves, their shock evident. Richard's face turns ashen, and Emily's composure crumbles as she buries her face in her hands. But then, in a twist, Emily looks up, tears streaking her face, and says, "There's more. I think it's only fair that everything comes out." She stands, takes a deep breath, and faces the board. This isn't just about an affair. Richard has been embezzling funds from the company. I discovered it by accident. When I confronted him, he convinced me to keep it quiet. A gasp runs through the room. Richard's eyes widen in disbelief, his earlier composure shattered. "I have proof," Emily continues, pulling out a USB drive from her purse. "I planned to come forward sooner, but I was scared." The chairman snatches the USB drive and nods to an assistant, who quickly retrieves the document stored on it. As the evidence of embezzlement is projected for all to see, the room erupts into chaos. Richard stands, his career and reputation unraveling before him. "Emily, why?" he mutters, disbelief etched across his face. Emily's voice is cold, her earlier warmth gone. "I'm not going down with you." The chairman turns to me, realization dawning. "It seems we owe you an apology and a debt of gratitude. Your actions uncovered more than just a personal scandal." The room settles into an uneasy silence as security arrives to escort Richard out. Emily follows, casting one last look my way, a mixture of regret and relief. As the room clears and the dust settles, Alex and Tara join me. "Did you know she'd turn on him?" Tara asks, curious. I shake my head. No. But I knew the pressure would crack someone. We did it, then, Alex says, a small smile playing on his lips. You got your revenge. I nod, but as I look around the now empty boardroom, a sense of emptiness washes over me. Yes, I had my revenge. Richard and Emily's careers were over, their reputations in tatters. But at what cost? As I leave the boardroom, the weight of everything that had transpired settles on my shoulders. I had won, but the victory was hollow. The price of revenge was high, and I wondered, as I walked back to my now quieter life, if it had been worth it. The answer, like the morning fog outside, remained unclear.